Welcome to New Paradigm. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Inspiring interviews for inspiring people and inspiring others. And our positive quote today is, I will go anywhere as long as it's forward. Now, I have with me an amazing individual who is extremely passionate about her community work. She's an ambassador for the Muslim community and she's changing the lives of young people all over. Now, she also has her own charity called Unity and she's doing amazing things. Ladies and gentlemen, I am with Khadija Abdelhammid. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming.
No problem, it's a pleasure.
It's okay. So, Khadija, I am really inspired by what you have done recently.
Thank you.
I know you have recently just done a video, Dead at 25.
Yes.
And I would love for you to tell myself and everyone else why on earth you chose to do that, because it was absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. I chose to do it because I think a lot of people, for me, coming from my personal life, I've got a lot of negativity, people telling me, oh, you're not going to get anywhere in life, you're not going to achieve or amount to enough. So I think kind of got all my feelings and, you know, going back to, I always say that, you know, being depressed for 7 years, so I got all my feelings together. And I was like, you know what, there's a lot of people that I know personally, especially in the Muslim community, who want to aspire and, you know, be a difference maker, but they're too scared. So I was like, you know what if, you know, listen to Les Brown about how people die, you know, with their dreams and the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And then, obviously, I'm always motivated by different quotes. So putting everything together, I was like, you know what, let me just write a powerful piece. Because a lot of people always tell me, oh, you should be a motivational speaker. But I'm not that, you know, it's not my career thing. So I thought, I love spoken word more than anything. So I combined motivation with spoken word. So then, putting everything together, mashed it up. And I just came up with Dead at 25 because I think it's really powerful that people need to realise that you shouldn't die with your dreams, because what if all the people, obviously I mentioned in my video, what if they died with their dreams? We wouldn't be here today in terms of how the world moved forward. So why I wrote it, basically.
When you dropped that video the other day, I was just like, wow, like that was just completely different.
I'm so happy.
So I know you had touched on things where you was talking about depression, and you're talking about the Muslim community as well. I think what's definitely important for a lot of people to understand who are watching this is, I know there's a lot of stereotype with the Muslim community, with all the madness that goes on. You being a Muslim yourself, I mean, what challenges have you faced by being a Muslim and doing what you're doing now, which is challenging how they are currently perceived?
I think we need a longer time than we have. Where do I start? I'm trying to pick up my brain. As a Muslim, I've faced a lot from the Muslim community. Trying to, you know, go out there. I'll pick on a particular thing because there's too many things. But for example, trying to go out there and speak in spoken word poetry, for example. A lot of people find it, oh, it's really good what you're doing, it's amazing. And what I'm trying to do with the platform I'm trying to build here is trying to really challenge mental health in the Islamic community. Now, mental health in Islam is like a taboo. It's literally a biggest taboo ever. In the Western society, it's already a stigma. So when you being Muslim, it's even worse. Because I remember when I was going through my depression and self-harm and everything, I couldn't tell my parents about it. And because I knew if I did, then like it's all over for me. So I kept it, you know, inside me. I didn't tell anyone, and my friends found out. Funny how they found out. I was in class one time in English, and I'm so used to putting my sleeves up. So I was in English, and then my friend saw, like, when I used to use knife, she saw the marks. So she goes, "What is that?" She goes, "Oh." So my friends found out like that.
I've got some female friends, and I know when it comes to like relationships and stuff, especially with like the males, how they can be very into their religion, and I see where that can box a lot of the Muslim females in, where they can't actually speak up and say what it is that they feel. So I have no idea what that can possibly feel like, being with someone in relationships and stuff like that. It's
I'm glad
crazy.
you said that. I'm actually glad, because I have a lot of female friends who are married or engaged or in a relationship. I've never been in a relationship myself, but I've seen other people and I've seen it is, and it goes back to what I was saying before in terms of people telling me in terms of what I'm doing with the mental health thing, oh, you shouldn't talk about it because in the long run, when you get married, the brother's not going to want to know your history, that you're crazy or whatever they want to call it. Going back, it's still a stigma. So I've seen a lot of people and how it impacts them. But for me personally, I am so driven, and I think from the age of, and I always say this to people, from the age of 15, even though I was self-harming myself, I knew within me I was born for a purpose. Like, that's why I said in my poem, it's more than just, we're not just here for a religion, we're here for a bigger purpose. And kind of why I bought into that at 25. And I really believed that from a young age, even though I was self-harming, which was a bit crazy, self-harming, I'm born for greatness, which is so crazy. So for me, if I ever do get into a relationship in terms of when it comes to marriage, I have to let him know, for me, that's just my opinion, that, yo, listen, I'm here to do something great. If you're going to box me at home, that ain't going to happen. Like, I'm literally straight with them. A lot of sisters in Islam, obviously, would say, sister, that's not right, you shouldn't say that. I understand what you're saying, but I know that I'm here for something, and I want to change the image of how Muslims are perceived, because if they're perceived negatively in the media, some of us need to get up and do something, and there isn't a female out there doing something like that in terms of the Muslim community. So I raised my hand from the age of 15. No one knew. I knew, God knew, I just worked towards it, basically.
I just want you guys to just check out a couple of minutes of Khadija's Dead at 25 poem. Here it is.
I want you to write down your fears in a blank piece of paper and what you powder from the other. Now, compare and contrast and tell me what you see. Because if your fears outweigh more than your achievements, then ask yourself, why could this be? Is it because your teacher told you to be realistic about your dreams, or because a loved one doesn't believe? Or could it be that society told you it's impossible to achieve? I find it strange that we let others shape our philosophy, yet at the same time, we are inspired by those who've conquered every criticism they've received. In the words of Michael Jordan, you must expect great things of yourself before you can do them. The same man who was told he was incompetent in his field and kicked out his high school team. He said, I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. And today, he's the greatest basketball player the world has ever seen. Or what about Steve Jobs, a man who started his company from his garage, who taught us the value of $1 and a dream. He revolutionized technology, and today Apple is a $2 billion company. Or when he taught us that sometimes failure is a blessing in disguise, because when he was fired from Apple, it led him to discover Pixar Studios. In the words of Steve Jobs, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. So you'd have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future, or that all your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them.
Wow. And I remember you had put up that on Facebook, and you said it took you 5 times to do that.
That one was my 5th try.
That was on your 5th try. What on earth happened?
God was testing me.
God was testing She's like, no, let's see if she really wants to do this video.
Testing me. I was crying because I finished writing it on the 15th of December, and I was waiting to release it on the 20th of December for personal reasons, and it didn't work out. So I'm not going to go into details in terms of the people that I worked with on this video prior to the other 4 times, but let's just say I got messed over. And it got to a point where my 4th try, the person who was filming it for me, the video I just finished, paid him half the money. I got home and apparently the video disappeared.
I can definitely, close up time. I can definitely relate to that. Oh yeah, I can definitely.
Yeah, the video disappeared. So I remember a voice note in my friend on WhatsApp crying. You know him, Jay. I was crying my eyes out, and I was like, oh my God. And all my other friends, I was like, guys, this is crazy. I've been doing it so many times. It's either God doesn't want me to do it, but then something inside me is telling me, no, maybe it's testing you for something. And I was so excited. I was like full of emotions. So my 5th try, thank you to Gareth Harwood and Keith for referring me to his brother.
Keith, good old Keith, what's up?
Hi. So he referred me to Gareth, and and then from Gareth I was like, okay Gareth, I'm going to pay you the money, but please send it to me. And he goes, no, he'll send it to you. He did it literally, I went to university that day. I came back, it was like a space of 5 hours. I got it exactly, even before the time he said he was going to send it to me. And when I saw it, because he says to me, I see the vision. He goes, Khadija, I can see the vision, how it looks like he was so passionate. We even went out and filmed in the rain. Like, no one else from the other 4 people were like, no, my equipment is too expensive. He is so passionate about what he's doing, and I love working with people like that. So we did that, and he goes, okay, I see the vision. When he sent it to me, I swear to God, I had no idea what he's done. All I remember was me speaking. So he said to me, I had the same reaction as everyone else. Wow, this is deep. And I literally stayed all night, because YouTube takes a long time to upload. I was just staying all night in my laptop. And when he officially went there, I had tears in my eyes. I was like, my God, I'm so happy.
It's that moment of realization when you know that, you know what, if I gave up, I wouldn't have experienced this moment right now.
Yeah.
So what's happened since the video's gone out?
Oh my God, I'm so happy. So much stuff has happened. It's so crazy.
Well, we'd love to know.
Yeah, so the first thing that's happened, I can't remember them in order, but let's just say everything that's happened. One of the other things I had is, I'm not going to name the charity, but there's an Islamic charity my sister and her friend are involved with, and they heard my video because my sister and her friend obviously volunteered with them, and they told them to go out there, and they have this massive summer event with the biggest Muslim female YouTubers. And so they have this theme called the YouTube theme for summer coming up. So anyway, so they heard my video, thank to my sister and her friend for showing it to them. They were like, we need this girl to come to the event. And the people that are coming on the event, they've got over 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm like, I literally just got like 43 subscribers. Are you sure I should be coming to this event? They were like, it's not even about the subscribers, it's about how deep it is. And the event is going to be a lot of female girls, female Muslims. So they have to hear you. They have to hear you speak. And it's good what you're doing, you know, in terms of being there for the Muslim community. So I was like, okay. Then after that, I got another event with 8,000 Muslims that I'm going to be performing at. I'm like,
8,000 Muslim people.
I know,
wow.
It's so big. And like, what else did I have? I got the opportunity to perform at uni the other day. And I found out yesterday at uni, people would come up to me. Hi, I'm like, I don't know you. But they know me because of the video, and it's just kind of gone viral in uni. And apparently it got to the vice president of university, and she wants to upload it on the university's website. And I was like, are you serious? Wow. And so many other things have happened, and I'm like, wow. This is like, you know when you just see the vision and you know. Like, I remember last year in second year, and I was telling my friends that when this video comes out, I don't know where it is, but I know in here it's going to be the most powerful thing ever. And when I was writing it, I was like, I just got excited, but right now I was like, this needs to go out, this needs to go out.
Yeah, Khadija's just like, she's giving me goosebumps. Like she's feeding me her energy. I feel the energy coming from her right now. So if you had given up, none of this would have happened.
Yes, and
there's more. There's more now.
I've never given up on everything I do, because I always know that it pays off so beautifully. But I think my biggest achievement has to be Dead at 25, because the way it's going round is just more than I expected. It's so crazy, like, oh my God, 8,000 Muslims.
So you're pretty much aware that you create your life, and all these situations, people, circumstances that are coming your way, it is down to that one action that you did, and that was doing your poem.
Yes, it was. It really was, because I just feel like it's weird though, because everyone else that I worked with before that, this is the thing that I always try to push to people. The other 4 people I worked before that, who've let me down before we even started, they'll be like, they don't see the vision. Do you see what I'm saying? They don't see it. And the weird thing is, this is what I realised about people. When you're trying to help other people, sometimes they don't want to help themselves. Mm-hmm. For example, Keith told me about Gareth way before I even started the YouTube channel. Keith knew about the channel. He goes, when you start, come to Gareth and he'll film it for you. And it's so weird, because I learned a lesson. I'm glad I learned it early. And I said to him, you know what? No, I want to give it, because Gareth's got a good portfolio already. I want to give it to someone who deserves it, because I know in me, Dead at 25 is going to go so massive. So whoever will be editing it for me will get that with it. The last 4 people that worked with me didn't have that strong a portfolio, but I knew my vision. They didn't believe in it. Gareth did. Even though he had his portfolio, now this has made him even bigger. So sometimes when you give people opportunity, when you work with them, you realise they're not really hungry as much as you thought. So I was like, you know what, I learned a lesson very early. So now when I do my next 3 videos, I'm doing it with Gareth.
Exactly. See, there's a lot of cowboys out there. There's a lot of people out there that want to act like they're something, but they ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Or they just want to dream about something, but they don't necessarily want to put in the work for it. So you're learning some lessons along here.
Yes, and the good thing about it is that some of them actually came up to me or messaged me and they said, I was meant to help you film that. I was like, yeah, well, I gave you the chance.
Yeah, and that's a lesson for those individuals. Now they know they need to fix up, sort out their act, and come correct, as my gran used to say, come correct. Well, Khadija, I have one very important question to ask you, and this is what I ask everyone on the show. If the human race was going to be extinct in 24 hours and it was down to you to stop it, what would you do?
Wow, that's a deep question. Wow. That's a deep question.
It's like it's like me. All right, Khadija, we saw your poem. The whole world's gonna go extinct within 24 hours. It is up to you to save the world. What are we gonna do? You've got the whole world now looking at you.
Do you know what?
You know what? She'll probably have to write a poem about that one now, won't she?
That's what I was thinking. I'm actually going to say that.
She's going to write a poem about that.
That's what I was actually thinking. This might sound really crazy, but I don't know. Like, I've never been asked that question before, but I'll probably just say motivate them to be strong and don't worry. I don't know. I seriously wouldn't know what to do. That's a really deep question.
It's all right. It's not for us to judge what people say because everyone's different individual. It's interesting seeing people's successes, but I think what is more important is seeing the journey and the path that the individual took. What do you have to say to that?
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. Oh my God, I don't want to give it out all, but obviously I wrote Dead at 25. My next one is called Price Tag, and it's actually about what Samuel was talking about. It's about the stories of those people and what they've been through before they reached fame. And it's going to be actually different from Dead at 25, and it's going to be sort of an auction style spoken word. That's why I call it Price Tag. But I really do think it's important, and that's why I really, really want to get out there so people can hear that as well.
Well, they're definitely going to get out there because obviously you're going to be speaking in front of 8,000 people. I'm sure there's going to be...
That's just one event.
There's going to be some hashtagging and some sharing and some likes and forwards of that video. So I think you'll be pretty all right with that.
Yeah.
Khadija, look, you've been brilliant. You've been brilliant. You've said some really interesting, inspiring stuff. I'm very grateful for you to come on this show.
I'm very, very grateful.
Privileged. And we're coming to a close now. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be back next week. If you know anyone who you would like to see being interviewed on New Paradigm, please get them to email me, bentatalks@gmail.com. You can see the email at the bottom of your screen right now. And stay tuned for Benta's Knowledge Corner. Believing in yourself. You've probably heard people say that to you before. You must believe in yourself. If only you believe, or belief creates the fact. You know, we can hear these statements many times, but no one really knows the true power of belief. Belief really does create the fact. Belief is what motivates you. Belief is what makes you take the action. If you're not taking action with something right now, ask yourself this question: do you believe you can do it? What is holding you back? Where did lack of belief come from? Did you put that thought in your head? Did you hear it from a friend at school? Did you hear it from a family member? Belief is so important for you to grow. If you look at a rose and it's a little bud and then it blossoms, you will see the abundance of that rose coming to its full fruition. Intention, There's intention with every single thing. And that's exactly what each and every one of us has right now. The question is, what's the intensity of it? Is it something positive in your life, or is it something negative in your life? Self-belief is what it is all about. You have to believe it, not just in your head. You have to believe it in your heart. Your heart is where your true intelligence is. That is your universal intelligence. That is where you are connected to everyone and everything in this universe. Your heart is beating, beating, beating every single moment. Think of how amazing your body is right now. You're breathing. Your heart is pumping blood all around your body without you having to even think about it. Believe if your body can do that for you, what else can your body do for you? It can bring you the life that you want just by believing in yourself.